Okay, I'll give you just some updated, detailed information. I'll try and break it down for you as much as I possibly can. Um, Approximately a little over an hour ago, information was developed as to a possible location of a suspect registration plate. That plate was located, having been put on the media by a worker at a fast food restaurant. That worker contacted the local police department, who contacted state police immediately, and they all responded to that fast food restaurant in Winsted. Upon arrival at the scene, the trooper and officers observed a vehicle with the suspect plates on it parked in the parking lot of that fast food restaurant. There was a hose from the tailpipe going to the interior of the car. The officers and trooper made entrance into the car. Were able to revive the subject in the car. That subject was taken to Charlotte Hungerford Hospital to be evaluated. It's reported that he is conscious and alert. He presently is in state police custody on the previous warrant, and upon the continuation of this investigation, it's anticipated that additional charges will be lodged against him. We still have major crime detectives at the crime scene here in Oxford. Major crime detectives will also seize and process the suspect vehicle. It's important to note that, and I'll state it again, that the press was extremely helpful in getting this information out to the public. As a result of that, that's one of the reasons why we got the call to respond to the fast food restaurant in Winsted. To answer someone's questions from before, there were no other individuals in the home except the two toddlers and the two females that were shot at that residence, at that crime scene. All right. The warrant that the subject is being held on, the accused is being held on right now, is going to charge him with assault in the third degree and disorderly conduct from a previous incident that he was involved in that was investigated by the Oxford Resident Trooper's Office. Questions?
That previous incident, was that involving his ex-wife, the one that I deceased?
You'd have to look at the warrant. I wasn't able to get the details. We're getting copies of the warrant, but I don't know who it involves.
Do you know if they had any ongoing domestic cases out of a particular court system as far as keeping him away from the wife? Or
You'd have to check with judicial. Our investigators will get into that. Our detectives will look into all those facts and circumstances, but I just can't access that right away to bring quick, efficient information to you guys.
Does it look like Gellatly put that other person in the car to try to harm them? Is that what it?
Say that again.
Did Gellatly put that other person in that other vehicle that you found? It looks like to try to.
There was no other person in the vehicle.
Oh.
There was no hostage.
Just the hose.
There was just suicide. Yeah, we're talking about the suspect vehicle that we just took into custody. The suspect, he was alone in that vehicle. There was no one else in that vehicle.
He was conscious?
He's conscious and alert at this time.
He wasn't when they.
I don't know that. I don't know what his condition was. He was taken out, quote, revived, and was transported to Charlotte Hungerford Hospital to be evaluated. We're told at this time he's conscious and alert.
Would you be kind of to walk us through the facts of the actual crime as you know them again from the start?
Sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sure. Okay, this all started at approximately 5:30 this morning when a 911 call was received by state police reporting gunshots that had occurred in the area of 43 Sioux Drive in Oxford. Troopers, a resident trooper, and town officers responded to that location. The initial call reported that an individual was attempting to make forced entry into the house, break into the house forcibly. Upon arrival by officers and troopers, they found two females suffering from gunshot wounds. They were treated by EMS, and one individual was taken to St. Mary's Hospital. She's identified as Mary Jackson, and the other individual was taken to Waterbury Hospital, and she's identified as Lori Gellatly. Lori Gellatly, shortly after admission, was pronounced dead at Waterbury Hospital. The scene was secured. An all-out search was initiated looking for a vehicle that was taken from the scene, a 2013 Ford Escape. That vehicle was located approximately 1.5 miles from the crime scene, and it was then believed that the suspect would be in another vehicle described as a 2012 Toyota Tacoma pickup truck bearing 2741cc, Connecticut registration. That information was provided to the public via the media. We received a good deal of information that caused us to follow up many leads in many locations across Connecticut and further. There was 2 children in the home at the time of the shooting. They were not injured. With the assistance of the Department of Children and Families, they were placed with other family members. The all-out search continued for the suspect, and as a result of information received from subject at a fast food restaurant, the subject was taken into custody. We do have a great deal more work to do in this case. It's anticipated that we will lodge additional charges. It'll depend how our investigation progresses, whether it'll be later on today or first thing in the morning. But we will work nonstop to attempt to gather all forensic evidence, physical evidence, interview necessary witnesses, and certainly finish our criminal investigation into this matter.
Have you recovered a weapon?
I don't know that, sir.
Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
I do, but we haven't released that information.
Is there another possible victim in Plymouth?
We have not indicated any other possible additional victims. Again, this is an active criminal investigation. Certainly we will follow every lead wherever it might take us in any community whatsoever in Connecticut or otherwise.
The warrant, was that out of Milford?
Yes, it was.
Lieutenant, that second vehicle, so he takes one from the house, does he drive back to his car, or did that second vehicle that he went off, is that his vehicle?
We're not sure if it's the same vehicle that we located him in or if this is a third vehicle. Again, these are questions that we have to answer. But he fled from the crime scene in a vehicle, a Ford Escape, taken from that crime scene. Approximately 1.5 miles away, left that Ford Escape, got into another vehicle, okay, and then he's been located, as I say, up in Winsted in that it's a Chevy Blazer type vehicle.
The vehicle that he got into at...
We have to find that out. We have to prove that.
It's not the Toyota Tacoma.
It's not the Toyota Tacoma. Okay.
You put that out because that was the car registered to him?
And we put that out because that was the car that we had developed information that the subject had in his custody, his possession, had access to. But that is not the vehicle he was found in. But the vehicle he was found in had the registration plate that we've been broadcasting continuously and nonstop. So we have to determine whether that vehicle was here in Oxford or whether that vehicle here in Oxford was left somewhere else and we come up on this third vehicle. But again, these are all questions that our investigators will examine and look into. All right, and that's really about all.
He's still in the hospital?
Right now, he's still in the hospital, but it's anticipated that he's in stable condition. He's stable.
And do you know which barracks eventually he'll be? Do we know that yet?
We're not going to go there right now. To be determined. Let's one step at a time. We got to see when he's going to be released and what his condition is, and we'll let him be treated medically first. That's most important right now, and then we'll. He's under state police guard, and he'll remain under state police guard until he's released from the hospital.
What hospital?
Charlotte Hungerford Hospital in Torrington.
Why was it believed there was a hostage?
There was information that was obtained at the scene by initial first responders.
Did they have a hard time finding Lori in that house? Because originally they thought she was the hostage, so I don't know why.
No, it's information that was received by first responders in the home, and you have to go on the information that you get and begin working that information. And as things progress with family members and interviews and witnesses, we're able to sort things out and determine who and what we were looking for.
Is there anything you can tell us about how we got in the house and the layout of the house, where the injuries?
I have not been in the crime scene, sir. I can't tell you the layout of the interior. I simply know that the subject forced his way into the home.
So this still have any idea where he lived last? I know I keep asking.
We don't have an address. We simply don't have a last known address for him. And that's the only answer I can give
Do
you.
you know if he lived in that house at one time?
At one time he may have, but right now we don't have a physical address for him. He was not in that house, not residing in that house at